it didn't happen that time. And the train was 6 hours. It took 6 hours for the coroner to come, and they had to make the report and all. But I wasn't worried about it, because what happened, on my way over here, I had some tapes and etc. I was going to listen to on my way. Matter of fact, I listened to your CD, and I didn't know you scat. So I listened to her CD a little while. Then I said, let me check my phone and see what's going on. And I checked my email, and I saw that Deen had put the Savior's Day program on. And it might have been about 9, 10 o'clock. I started watching it, and I watched the entire thing. I didn't go to sleep. That's how fascinating it was. That's how exciting it was. And the colors were so impeccable. I mean, it's a beautiful thing, a beautiful scene. And all of it was exciting. So I'm just so happy. I mean, actually, I guess maybe that put me to sleep and put me at ease. It's like I've been sleeping for 8 hours. So all praise be to Almighty Allah for we so happy in New Orleans. They sent me down here to ask, could Mosque bring Savior's Day back to New Orleans again, so we can do a better job. Alhamdulillah. And he said yes. So all praise be to Almighty Allah.
Allah was with this program.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
I'm looking at Sister Camilla over here.
Alhamdulillah.
I can't wait to come up there and tell y'all how I felt.
Alhamdulillah. 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 And to Sister Camilla, there's nothing like you in New Orleans. New Orleans is the home of the jazz. Nothing like you in New Orleans. So all praise be to Almighty Allah. You know, I came out of the Nation of Islam. I was the fruit of Islam.
Keep exposing, but we're going to mess around and lose it.
I don't know. So in 1969, I came from the black movement and etc. And I became joined in 1969. Because during the 60s was a turbulent 60. So much was going on. The killing of Dr. King, Malcolm died. So many, Medgar Evers. I mean, it was an air in the environment that, you couldn't sit where you want to sit. So that's the kind of environment that was existing. So in 1969, I made that decision. I became a member of the Nation of Islam. Matter of fact, when I wrote my letter came back in 1 week. They wanted to know who I knew. But I became got in the Nation of Islam, was very active in the Nation of Islam. We started a temple on the West Bank. I became the squad leader. 6 weeks I was squad leader. In 10 weeks I was a lieutenant. In a year I was assistant minister. In a year and a half I became a minister. They sent me to Monroe. They shipped me out to Monroe, Louisiana. Your hometown? Because Monroe is where the Muslim nation had a big fight with the policemen. And one of his brother Troy had to leave, get out of Dodge before sundown. And they sent another brother named Brother John, and then he had some problems, then they sent me down there. And then I eventually came back home to New Orleans. And we were very active in the community. I was in the political movement. I knew all the politicians. This woman who spoke, the icon in New Orleans, she was the one, as I said, when they took the statues down in New Orleans, she's the one who was the leader of that. And she also was the one who helped Dr. King start SCLC.
I recognize her on television.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
With the civil rights.
Exactly, so right. So, after we became in the nation, and inshallah, the transition of the Honorable Elijah Mohammed passing, and we accepted, took shahada with your father, Imam Deen Mohammed, and made the Hajj 2 times, and always busy. We've been moving. So all praise be to Allah, go to all the convention and etc. Then it came to the convention possibility of coming to New Orleans, and I told my wife, "Don't do that. I don't want to see this." Because the bottom line, those of you who's married, if your wife accepts to do something, guess what? You got to do it. But I guess it was Allah's will that it happened. I was disappointed, but I knew that if it was going to be there, we had to go to work to make it successful. So I went in my closet. I got 2 FOI uniforms. I went in my closet. See, I didn't want to put my FOI uniform on. I went in my closet and looked at my FOI uniform. I said, I guess I'm going to have to put you on. So then we started connecting with the people, going to different functions. And, like I said, New Orleans is a very social environment. A lot of political activists in New Orleans. So we started going to the different programs. Always something going on in New Orleans. There's all kind of festival in New Orleans every week. You have Hog for the Cause Festival, Crawfish Festival, Shrimp Festival, Jazz Festival, Essence Festival. Every month there's a festival. Every month. See, in New Orleans, people look for any. When somebody dies, at all of the deaths, there's a second line. Something going on all of the time in New Orleans. So we started connecting with some of the people that we felt like could be an asset to us. And that's what we started doing. And Allah blessed us to make the proper connection. And if we had more time, we could have done even a better job. So all praise be to Almighty Allah. I told you my mother, February the 17th, she made 101 years old. And 3 days later, my birthday, I made 79. So I started working, lining up, like I showed Sister Robin. I come from the sales environment. I was a salesman. Matter of fact, the guy who I stood up, Brother Don Chopin and I, when we got our 300 plus, matter of fact, I was supposed to put my 300 plus pin on. When we got our how much time I got?
You got it, go.
When we got our 300 plus newspaper, we decided that we need to find a strategy to make it easier on ourselves. Mm-hmm. So what Brother Don and I did, we took the Dale Carnegie course. We couldn't go there personally, but we got the book. Mm-hmm. We started reading. So we read a book called Sales Begin When the Customer Says No. No. That's right. Okay. That's right. Another one was no is not an answer. That's right. The other one was, and I think Elijah Muhammad gave us one, how to win friends and influence people. And another book was How to Be People Smart. So he and I were on that journey. We got 300 customers. So on Saturday, once a month, every week we just put our paper in the people's door, got our name, people, and on a weekend or whenever they got paid, we just go collect. Mm-hmm. But how that 300 plus come about, if you had the masjid and 2 other brothers carrying 300, and you still had the masjid, guess what? You just added 300 plus. So all praise be to Almighty Allah. So we knew the streets. We were door knockers. We went door to door. We met people eyeball to eyeball. We were foot soldiers. Some people sold on the street corners and etc. But we went to people's door and talked to people. That's how we established personal relationship with people. So we as Muslims, we in the people business. So we got to start going back and establishing relationship with people. So people, when they trust us and respect us, and we call them and invite them to something, more will come when you establish a relationship with them. And that's how we were able to get some of the people to come to our program, because we first established a relationship with them. And that's, we got to get back to that, establishing a relationship with people. So it was so I say it that night, when the date of 12 o'clock came, I became 79 years old. And I said to myself, Allah done blessed me with 79 years. And I still have my health. No problem. I still have my health, my energy. And I said to myself, Allah done blessed me with these 79 years. What do I want to do, inshallah, with the rest of my time that Allah have given me on this earth, or will give me? And I laid back and I started thinking, what do I want to do? And the conclusion was that I was doing what I wanted to do. That was the answer. Going after people, inviting people to come to see what we do as Muslims. And that's what I want to do now. I don't have to go search anymore and try to figure it out. I'm doing what Allah wants me to do. This is it. This is my job. So all praise be to Almighty Allah. We thank Allah for blessing us. And the Savior's Day was so fascinating until the believers said, we wanted Savior to come back. But they said, we wanted to come down personally and have Warwick Deen II to let us know. And they told me, as soon as I find out, give him a call. At the Jummah Friday, the buzz was the Savior's Day. I mean, the spirit of the believer. I mean, you all have helped us, the jazz player, the saxophonist, Jamil, he and I, when the people was doing the second line, we stood on the stage for a moment, and Jamil told me, he said, Nashid, you know what? I said, what? We have started a movement. I said, man, I said, you're right. We started a movement. So we really are reconnecting our spirit, because a month ago, I wouldn't have catched no train to come down here. I wouldn't have left 70 degrees to come to 45 degrees.
They didn't warn you.
But really, the spirit, you all have brought the spirit to New Orleans. And we needed it. Like I told Warren, when Hurricane Katrina came, we lost half of the people in the masjid. So we've been struggling, trying to put the pieces back together ever since. And we needed something to ignite the spirit of our soul, and I think this is it.
We thank Allah we can be a part of that.
We're connecting our souls, we're reconnecting our souls again. So all praise be to Almighty Allah. We talking about, inshallah, if y'all come back, we're going to double or triple the amount. Because even the professor told us, we want y'all to come back. And they're building a new section at the university that can hold a lot of people. And Dr. Clyde told me, Nashid, we want y'all to come back in.
I got them on tape saying it's on YouTube.
So when you start doing something, people start noticing it, and they want to be part of some action.
That's right.
And inshallah, we can make that happen. But we appreciate all of y'all and what y'all done to help us to make it happen. I want to tell y'all about my mother. You know, my mother is a natural humorist. She's 101 years old. But my mother watched television. She keep up with football, baseball, basketball. Her mind is sharp. She is aware and conscious of just about everything. So my mother is the funniest person I've ever met. She's a humorist. My mother, she said her and my father was going to a place called Gretna, and they stopped at a stop sign. And my father looked at the car that was parked beside them. My father told my mother, said, you see how that white woman got her arms around her man? And my mother, she's small. So she raised up and she looked and she turned around and told my father, did you see that big diamond ring on her finger? See it? And this, I have a large family. I came from a large family. We had 12 in our family. And children in the you will never go to my mother's house when there's nobody there. People going in and out. She connect with the young children and all the way up. And someone always at the house. And I always talk about it because every time you go over there, she got a story. Some time ago, maybe 10 years ago, one of my relatives had died in a town maybe 50 miles from where my mother stayed. And my mother go to all of the funerals. Everybody knew my mother. She's the oldest person in that surrounding area. And everybody knows her. So my mother said I think she had the cold or something. And she said one of my relatives died. She said she told my sisters that she wanted to go to the funeral. And my sister said, well, you've been having a little cold and stuff. We think you should stay home. So my sister said, besides that, we don't have enough room in the car for you to come anyhow. So my sister said they'd gone to the funeral. And when they arrived, it was a little town in Mississippi. When they arrived in Mississippi, my mother was waiting for them. She had hitchhiked a ride to Mississippi. So it's all the time. It's all the time. She's always got something humorous and funny to say. So we say, my dear respected brothers and sisters, again, we really, we on fire in New Orleans now.
You said she was 101.
101.
You left one out. You told me in New Orleans that somebody asked her how it felt to be 101.
Well, what happened, when she made her 101, at the courthouse, the president of Jefferson Parish, he knows the family. So he wanted her to come to the council meeting. They wanted to honor her, give her a plaque, and etc. And a lot of people at the council, at the meeting. So the media popping, pop, paparazzi, and she just glorying in it, So one of the lawyers over there said, well, Miss Rose, you made 101 years old? She said, yes. He said, well, let me ask you a question. How does it feel? This was 100 when she made him 100. Said, how does it feel to be 100? And she put her head down. She said, well, I don't know yet. I just made it. She said, come back in a year and I'll tell you. So all praise be to Almighty Allah. Like I said, New Orleans will never be the same again. Not only is the buzz in our community, the Muslim community, but the reverend that spoke, the pastor that spoke, he said he wanted to join our team. He wanted to collaborate with us with the Isaiah Institute. We're going to establish a partnership. And inshallah, let me tell you, Mark Morial, the president of the Urban League, when Mark Morial ran for a congressman, the first meeting he had was at my house. When he ran for mayor of the city, the first meeting he had was at my house. Like I said, I was into the politics. I was in the political movement. So inshallah, when the World Fair was in New Orleans in 1982, he and I became friends because I had the wall mural of a great African American produced by Madjun, a brother named Madjun. Some of y'all might know him. Madjun. He passed last year. I had so much wall mural. That was supposed to be my $1 million business. I had many. I got all kind of business cards. Did all kind of business. That was supposed to be the $1 million project. But what happened to New Orleans, it collapsed. That's when Mark Morrell and I became friends because he had a project there also. So I'm saying this to say that he's the president of the Urban League. And what I want to do, he was in New Orleans about 2 weeks ago. We hadn't seen each other maybe 8 years. So I told him, I said, Mark, I'd like to see you come speak at one of our Muslim convention. He gave me his telephone number. He said, this is my personal cell phone. Call me. So this is me. I'd like to see him to come to our Savior's Day.
Yeah, we good too.
Inshallah. Inshallah. So make dua for us. We're going to connect with him Because he have a large following. He draw a lot of people. He's one of the maybe fifth, as his so-called said, most powerful person in America. He's right there below Warwick Deen II. So I don't want to talk any longer. You know, that sister was in prison. When I was a chaplain in prison, Toastmaster was a big thing. You know, speaking. I learned how to speak because myself, I tell people I speak 3 languages: a little Arabic, a little Ebonics, and a little English. So I don't cross all my T's, nor do I dot all my I's. But I will give you a good clue of what I'm talking about. So this sister, when she came out, she started a Toastmaster club. She had a Toastmaster club. Right out of prison, started a business when she was in a lockdown, in the hole in the cell. She said she had a vision. And I told him, she says like Allah told her, one man's trash is another man's treasure. And that while she in the hole, she said that vision was in her mind. That if Allah bless her to get out, she gonna start a flea market and get people to bring clothes. And when she got out of prison, she started with $22. She had a basket, a grocery basket, and selling merchandise out of the grocery basket. Then she moved to another little spot, and today, she have, I don't know how many square feet, but it might be 3 times larger than this. Oh, wow. And what she does, usually if you're in prison and you have no location to get out, you can't get out. When the women get out of prison now, they go to her place. She give them a job. Let them start off working until they can move out on their own. So all praise be to Almighty Allah. Inshallah, we're doing an article on her. Inshallah, I look forward to seeing it in the Muslim Journal. And she enjoyed herself so much. She said, I just love the Muslims. She said she had never seen a crowd of Muslims that big because she'd been on a lockdown. So that's my sign to stop. Alhamdulillah, we thank you all. Happy to be here. The train ride, believe me, the train stopped 6 hours, but I was busy watching the Savior's Day. It didn't matter to me. It didn't matter to me how long the train, because everybody's complaining, when we gonna move? It didn't matter to me because I was busy watching, and all y'all should see it. It's beautiful. Inshallah. So with this,